Hello, welcome to Gaby's Cooking. Today I am going to be showing you a recipe that uses chickpeas and cod. It's very light, very easy to make, and I hope you like it. For this recipe I am going to be using a can of chickpeas, garlic, a pound of cod, tomatoes, peppers, and I decided to use a sweet potato instead of potato, but you can go either way. We're going to use some wine for the sauce, and we're going to use some parsley and a lemon for garnishing. So let me tell you something about garlic. There are multiple ways to prepare garlic in a recipe. You can actually slice it, for example, but for this particular recipe, I want to mince it. You can use the device like this one that is going to make a nice little minced garlic, or you can just get a good knife and just like chop, 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 chop. We have the garlic already minced, already in tiny pieces. I'm going to cut the tomatoes and I'm going to cut the peppers and put them in the little containers. It's important to prepare everything before you start cooking the garlic, because the garlic cooks really, really fast and you don't want to burn it. If you burn it, it's a done deal. You might as well start over. I'm gonna cut the sweet potato now. The way that I cut it is just like in small squares. The reason why I do that is because all of this is gonna cook really fast, so you don't want the sweet potatoes to be taking too long time. So you cut them like in small squares, and then you cook them really fast, and you have a nice dinner for your family. I am going to check the temperature of the oil, and for that what I do is I add a little bit of a pepper or onion or whatever I have to add, not the garlic because the garlic burns. So you see how the pepper is seasoning? So the temperature of the oil is about to be ready. I am ready now to add the garlic. Any minute now. Now I added the garlic, and the garlic is going to sizzle, and it's sizzling really nice. You see how it bubbles? It bubbles really nice, and this is important because we do not want this to burn. So any minute now this is going to be done, and we're going to add the other veggies. So you realize that the garlic is done when it stops sizzling. You see, when it stops seasoning, that's done for the tomato. If you leave it a little bit longer, it's going to start browning and then eventually burn. So this is a right amount of cooking for this garlic. Adding the tomatoes, and the tomatoes are gonna add some coldness, so it's gonna get the temperature down a little bit. So now the garlic is not going to burn. So this is going to be perfect. The tomatoes are now sizzling, releasing all their juice, and that's when I'm going to add the peppers, because I want the peppers to get a little bit softer and enjoy the juiciness of the tomatoes. This is the time where the sauce continues to sizzling, and we don't want it dry, so we are going to add a little bit of wine to the sauce for the veggies to continue to cook. Very nice, and the wine adds such a wonderful flavor. The sauce is now ready to receive our sweet potatoes. So the potatoes are gonna cook here for a little bit, and I want you to watch it because it depends on the temperature. It might be a little bit dry, so it's okay to add a little bit more wine, okay? The other thing that you need to do is bring the temperature down a little bit and put the lid on. And then this is going to cook slow but steady, and it's gonna be yummy. While the sauce cook, we're gonna just chop the parsley, and just we're gonna use it as garnish later. A little bit of chop, 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 chop. I just wanted to show you how the sweet potatoes are boiling, and they do have quite a bit of liquid in them. And you know, if it gets too dry, just add a little more wine. More wine is always good. Don't worry about the wine. This particular dish is quite easy. It doesn't have a lot of spices, just salt and pepper. Especially this dish, because I didn't have green pepper, so I add poblano pepper, which is a little bit more spicy. So watch out. The veggies are still a little bit crunchy, but that's okay. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use the cod, I'm gonna add the cod, and by the time the cod is cooked, the veggies are going to be perfect. I don't like my veggies super mushy, so I rather roam into the not so cooked department. There. So the cod is actually frozen in my case, which most cases, if you live in a place that ocean is like 1,000 miles away. But anyways, the cod is frozen, so it's gonna take a while for this to cook. What I did is I raised the temperature a little bit, and I'm gonna put the lid on top, and when the sauce starts boiling, I'm gonna bring the temperature down again. So let's let this to cook for a little bit there and see. You can see how the sauce is quite boiling. So what I did is I brought the temperature down, and I can see that the cod needs a little bit more cooking, which is fine. And we are going to take a little bit longer to cook this cod, but it's going on its way to be awesome. I am checking right now on the fish, and the fish seems to be done. Look, it's coming apart. At this point, I am going to add the chickpeas, and when the chickpeas come to boil, the dish is done. So we're close. Adding the chickpeas. This is going to be done very, very soon. Oh, I'm getting hungry. Oh yeah, this is done. So sad that you cannot taste it. This is ready. It smells so good. So to garnish, we're just gonna put a little bit of parsley, you know, around and on top, and then the lemon goes always very good with fish. So this should be so yummy. It smells so good.